these drones were only operating from one Libyan airbase, Al Khadim, and that the UAE supplied and operated these drones. The transfer or deployment of these weapons is a breach of the UN arms embargo on Libya, which has been in place since 2011. In January, at a conference on Libya held by the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, the UAE agreed to refrain from intervention in Libya's war.
Ukraine says it's frozen all contacts with Belarus. It has joined the European Union in condemning the actions of its neighbour since the recent disputed elections. However, the Ukrainian foreign minister told journalists there was no reason to break off diplomatic relations entirely. News from the BBC. The writer J.K. Rowling says she's returning an award associated with the Kennedy family in the United States after being criticised for her views on gender and trans issues. John McManus has the story.
J.K. Rowling is best known as the creator of the teenage wizard Harry Potter, but the author is now increasingly embroiled in the fractious debate around trans and women's rights. In December, Rowling was given an award by the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization. Previous recipients have included Barack Obama. But Rowling says she has now returned that honour after the president of the organisation denounced her views. Rowling says the implication was that she was transphobic, a charge which she denies. In her own statement, the author says that what she terms the clash of rights can only be resolved if more nuance is permitted in the debate.
Tanzania's communications regulator has suspended for a week a privately owned broadcaster for violating the media code. Clouds TV, which owns radio stations and a television channel, was accused of broadcasting information about October's election before it had been approved by the Electoral Commission. It reported that some parliamentary candidates would stand unopposed after their rivals failed to meet nomination criteria. Officials in northern Afghanistan say the number of those killed in Wednesday's flash floods has gone up to more than 160. Rescuers have confirmed 10 more deaths in the provinces of Parwan and Karpisa. The flooding hit several regions while people were asleep. A court in Western India has refused to grant bail to a well-known human rights activist who's been in detention for nearly 2 years for alleged links with Maoist rebels. The Bombay High Court said Sudha Bharadwaj would be given necessary medical aid in prison. Her lawyers had appealed for her temporary release on medical grounds and also due to an outbreak of coronavirus in prisons. BBC News.
明天的希望无限，听见台北的人情味，全世界活力在线，全都在台北 Radio。
公民总主笔，
方恩格时间。
当家抢先报，你不能不知道。
您靠咖啡提神吗？在今天晚上公民总主笔方恩格的时间中，我们邀请到的来宾是爱尔兰失眠咖啡的首席执行长徐若维。这个特别的咖啡品牌是今年才从爱尔兰引进台湾。徐若维将分享他在台湾广告行销新媒体业界经验，并分析如何从众多的产品中了解到消费者的爱好，为何在台北已经呈现饱和的咖啡馆市场，他仍然要引进新的咖啡品牌呢？在今晚的节目中，我们就请徐若维来分享更多台北的咖啡故事。
谁当家？
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 你当家？
谁当家？谁当家？
谁当家？
谁当家？我当家。你当家？我当家。
我当家。
到底谁当家？你来当家。
Welcome to Residence Messenger Program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with your host, Ross Darrell Feingold. Our guest today is Rosetta Xu, the CEO of Taipei's newest coffee brand, Insomnia Coffee, with a very lovely store in Nehu, which I have been to, and excellent coffee as well. Rosetta, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We're so happy to have you to talk about Insomnia Coffee and why you brought this brand to Taiwan, because there already is a lot of coffee in Taiwan. But before we get to Insomnia Coffee and why you brought it to Taiwan, let's learn a little bit about you. Where did you grow up? What did you study?
It's quite different. I'm studying, my major is interior design.
But then you went into the advertising industry.
Yes, and that's totally destiny. I never imagined I will come into the advertising before I come back, or before I'm into the advertising. Because I never have any picture concept about what is the advertising agency do before I know.
So what was your big break? How did you get into the advertising industry?
Because actually I have my career mentor in my life. Yeah, he's my ex-boss called Charlie. He bring me. Actually, he's my friend. Friend's friend. Yeah, when I just in the university, he's studying LA, and I'm studying Sydney. Then when we doing the summer vacation, we back to Taipei, and he asked me. At that time, he already in the agency. Then one day he tell me, you know what, Rosita, you got a bigger talent. To doing the event marketing and the advertising.
And you said, but I'm studying interior design.
Yes, that's what I'm told. I said, even I'm doing the advertising, I'm art-based because I'm studying in interior, the drawing. So in senior, also studying the color theory and the visual communication. It's kind of related to the graphic. So if I step into the agents, suppose I have to be an art-based, but he think I'm a big talent to be a account service and doing the execution for the event marketing.
So when you meet with younger people today, because you said you had an excellent mentor who helped you in the industry, and that's always important for people to have a mentor. When you mentor young people, do you tell them, no, you could study anything and go into the advertising industry? Or nowadays, are there some specific skills that younger people would need to go into advertising?
Truly my heart. Do yourself. I feel your voice from your heart. Telling you, try this. No matter what you study, what you want to do. Yeah. I always think when I was young, what I like to be. Yeah, what person I like to be. The personality should be related to your career and your life. Yeah, that's what I can tell. Do yourself, that's truly.
So you went into the advertising industry. Tell us about some of the products that you worked with.
I for the past almost 20 years, I specialize in like 3 industry: car and telecom, mobile phone, and one special is Horeca. Horeca means a hotel, restaurant, and a cafe.
Okay, so you're the expert in advertising for cars, mobile phones, and hotels and cafes.
No, tobacco.
Tobacco too.
And alcoholic. One of my big events in Taiwan is the Sensation. Major sponsor by you know the Sensation, the white party.
Yes.
Yeah. The sponsor by Hennigan. Hennigan was my ex-client. Yes. Also another very special industry I work with. That's the quiet experience to me in my advertising life is the solar panel.
Solar panels.
Solar panel.
Well, that's not really. We don't think of that as a.
You know, Yoda.
Yeah.
I can read the name.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay. So, yeah, the solar panel is quite special because they are doing the brand and the marketing B2B.
Right. So I was just going to say you have a lot of experience with B2C, but then you also did something that's very much B2B, right? Solar panels is a very B2B kind of industry.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways, Rosetta, I apologize for saying this, but you sound more like a guy because a guy will know a lot about cars and tobacco and alcohol.
Yeah.
Which of those products did you like working with the best, though? And it's okay if it's alcohol. You could say that.
No, everyone's so special. But if for me, the most emotion and I love is a car because I do over 10 years for the car industry. No matter luxury car, Mercedes-Benz, yeah, and the Ford, yeah.
Now, for those of us who are not so familiar with the advertising industry, what's the difference between advertising and public relations?
Public relation and advertising. It's kind of the public relation, PR, right? PR like the events, yeah, and it's kind of the fast to the people. But the advertising included total behavior like online TV commercial and the media and the strategy and the creative, blah, blah, blah. That's advertising.
And you're an expert in all of those things.
Yeah, because I stay too long.
Well, that brings up a really interesting point, and it's not because you stay too long, but during the time that right around the time you joined the industry was when the internet started to become such an important part of our everyday lives, and then eventually mobile devices became such an important part of our lives. How do you keep up with all that in the advertising industry as people move from reading newspapers or watching television to using other types of platform and media? What did it mean for you as somebody in the industry? Did you have to change your skills and learn new things?
You mean into the advertising?
Yeah.
The young people?
No, for you as somebody who's doing advertising and creating advertising, how do you keep up with all these changes with how consumers see advertising?
You mean how to create the idea?
Yeah.
For me, because we need to plan the event very soon, so we need so many information. I have I will ask myself, no matter how busy per day, we need to scroll all of the media. Yeah, before I finish my job. Yeah, so I need to read so many information and then know the so many how many program, how many media, so many information. I can say it's kind of an information fast collection in your brain every day. Then you can put to this idea to put this client. Yeah.
And you worked also not just in Taiwan, but you also work on advertising in other parts of Asia as well, such as maybe China. You have some experience. How do consumers?
No. I'm not working in the advertising agency in China. I work in China because I create my own business.
Oh, okay. But how do consumer tastes differ in Taiwan and China?
I think you mean the consumer behavior?
Yeah.
I think China consumer they purchase with some kind like the show off. Yeah, they purchase by everything maybe because the brand or people how to look at you. Yeah.
And in Taiwan?
I think Taiwan now, the consumer may more concerned about the deeply something like life, care about life or environment friendly or find ourselves. I think, yeah.
But was it very difficult for you to realize this about how the Chinese consumer behavior is different than the Taiwan behavior? Or when you started to work in China, which is very obvious that they have this big difference?
I stay there. Yeah. I live in Shanghai before I started the coffee industry.
Yeah, but when you got to China, was it difficult to understand how the consumer tastes are different, how their behavior is different?
You mean difficult to me?
Yeah.
No, actually not. Because before I came there, I already have so many friends doing advertising and marketing there. Yeah, so it helped me to quickly through the market to understand. Yeah.
And what kind of products were you? You said you had your own brand in China. What kind of products was that?
I start with a shopping mall. Yeah. Then I'm doing the brand entertainment. I have a create with my China partner to do a entertainment brand. Yeah, it's kind of a sports. Yeah, sport entertainment. And after I'm doing I moved to a special field. I started doing what I create. So I have launched a shopping cart, small shopping cart in supermarket. I doing the demo market in Shanghai for like 1 year. That's quite 很神奇. That's a fantastic change. Yeah, that's totally different with what I'm doing in the advertising and work in the agency. Yeah.
And how did you make it a success? What were the secrets to making it a success?
Actually, not a success. I hold
which is why it's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
Whether or not you succeed or fail, what would be the secrets to being successful in building that kind of business?
From my experience, I fail or I learn. I think everything is about people. If you meet the right person and you got the right team, you will fast or meet at the right time, right place. Yeah.
Do you think after the virus, we had the Bingdu this year, right? A lot of Taiwanese who work in Shanghai and other parts of China come back to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Do you think after the situation improves, a lot of Taiwanese will go back to China to work again, especially in industries you're familiar with, like advertising?
Already is. So many friends, they have to back to Shanghai and Beijing and China. Yeah. They have no choice. They need to keep working. Yeah, that's true.
They're not afraid of the virus?
The question like you asked me, am I afraid die? We will die anytime. Yeah, we need to be careful and protect. But how to avoid the virus is everywhere.
Well, fortunately, here in Taiwan, it's not so bad, right?
We are lucky.
Yes, we are we
were lucky.
Very lucky, which is why it's still a good time to bring a new brand of coffee to Taipei. So let's talk a little bit about your new project, Insomnia Coffee. But before we get specifically to what's great about Insomnia, tell us a little bit about the coffee industry in Taiwan. There are a lot of big chains. There are a lot of local chains. There's a lot of small independent coffee places. Give us an overview of the coffee industry in Taipei and in Taiwan.
This year, what we learned and found is about the premium coffee test. I think the Taiwan market is starting move to the specialty coffee market in Taiwan. So you will find like a Starbucks. They also have a reserve coffee.
Sounds like a description for alcohol instead of coffee.
Yeah. So the specialty and the espresso best and the premium coffee, I think is getting mature and grow up in Taiwan market.
But that means you say it's becoming mature and growing. That means there's an opportunity.
Yes.
There's a demand for something more premium. What about the in-store experience? Is that important for coffee drinkers in Taiwan? Because I remember I was in Taiwan when Starbucks first came to Taiwan over 20 years ago. And part of it was people wanted to go there was to sit in the nice store and sit in the big comfortable chair, maybe hear some nice music. Is that still important for consumers in Taiwan?
Did you think you're a consumer?
Very often, I just want to get my coffee and leave the store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you don't want to dine in the store to take time?
It really depends on the situation, but sometimes I'm just too busy. I don't have time to sit in the store.
But if you leave the busy issue, did you think the in-store still important? The real space.
If it's a nice store, yes. I don't want to sit in a store that's not so nice.
You know, most of people will say, if the nice store. Yeah, that's the challenge of the retail and the space. Yeah.
But there's still a demand for that, you would say, in Taipei? Will people stay in the store if it's nice?
Yeah, I think the in-store will never die. People still always need, because coffee is kind of a social occasion. We can't just always busy and take a coffee in the office or drinking alone or whatever. You ask your friend come to the office, we share the coffee with a beautiful time. Yeah, we of course we need the spatial space to take a coffee, but I think the coffee shop, the real store, need upgrade, which means how to create a space. Yeah, I think that for the next challenge will be the how to bring the journey and the experience into the real space for the coffee. Yeah.
Which leads to another important question: price. How sensitive are coffee consumers in Taipei to the price of a cup of coffee?
I will say the people will appreciate about the value and the quality. Now, if you provide the spatial journey experience and the good quality, good service, anything for good.
Anything? So even
not everything.
250 NT for a shot of espresso.
Of course not. Personality is quite important. I mean, if we provide this, people will leave the price. You know, I have spent 600 per coffee in the Jinshan Nanlu. In Yongkangjie, have an independent coffee. Let's serve a cup of coffee like a drink of red wine. Per coffee, the price is kind of the 600 to 700 per coffee.
Well, what was important about the experience that justified such a high price?
I think the coffee quality, yeah, and the journey, yeah, and the people. Yeah.
So why don't consumers simply make coffee at home, where you could have your own home experience and journey in a place that you're comfortable with?
Of course, but will you stay over like 10 hours at home?
Well, you know, a lot of people, they don't like to go out.
Sometimes you have a different situation, right? You still need to meet your colleague, your partner, your friend, your whatever you. Oh, another things I think the coffee shop give it to me, like 转角遇到爱. It's kind of a destiny corner shop.
Like you might meet someone special in
you
the
don't know, so you need to work out and to a kind of like a coffee shop emotion place.
Yeah, let me ask
to me the surprise in your life.
Let me ask you a very difficult question then, because
you got it in English or what?
Well, because you said that here in Taipei, the consumer taste or their demand or desire is for more premium product, and they might even be willing to pay for that. You say you even pay 600 Taiwan dollars for a cup of coffee because the journey was worth it. Yeah. But where does that leave the less expensive brands, the stores that do have seating, but it's very simple. It's not fancy inside, but they sell a cup of coffee for 50 NT, 75 NT. Is there going to be room for them to exist in the future, or the consumers can say, no, we want something nicer than a cheap cup of coffee and some very simple chairs?
Yeah, I will say people like me and you, we can choose coffee in Family Mart. Also, I will choose have a good time and good chatting in the coffee shop afternoon. I can make a choice all day because people in here, we not only take 1 coffee per day. Yeah, and we still have the space to grow in Taiwan. Yeah.
So you're saying someone like me who drinks several cups of coffee, maybe I'll go 1 cup in the really premium place and 1 cup in the convenience store.
What do you mean?
You say maybe I drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have 1 in a premium store and 1 in the cheaper store.
Yeah.
Is that common that people will switch where they go for their coffee?
Yeah. It's true, right?
Yeah, but you see, me, I'm not an expert, so
you don't need to be an expert. Drink coffee is every people have it's kind of normal, not expert. You don't need a test coffee. Yeah, if you want, of course, you can be an expert.
Yeah.
But I think drink coffee is kind of a life. Yeah.
So that's a good point. I agree with you, Rosetta. So do you have a recommendation for how many cups of coffee people should drink per day to keep up this happy life?
Me. I only say me.
Okay.
I drink a coffee like 3 to 4 cup per day. Yeah.
Well,
I'm fine.
Doctors say it's good for you, right?
I don't care about what doctors say. That's my life. Yeah. Well, why should I listen the rule? Yeah. If I think my body can drink the coffee, I didn't feel sick or uncomfortable. Yeah, but I think normally in Taipei, people will not over the 5 cup.
Yeah.
That's too big. That's too much, right?
Well, speaking of too big and too much, we're going to take a break. But when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of the sizes of the coffee and insomnia. But first we'll take a break. You're listening to Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station.
倾盆大雨，疯狂的期限，天地将被毁灭。我闭上眼睛，不理这一切。我已经忘不了我吻你那一夜。有一天，这些回忆也许会实现。分手第100页，我眼睛慢慢看不见，看不见。是爱情的终点，看不见，我听不见，让思念去冬眠。我忘不掉的第一眼，你离开的那一天，我知道地球上面没有永远。我站在大楼屋顶，看着地平线。可怜都市下班的嘴脸，究竟的世界，我关上耳朵，不想再去争辩。我回到我的房间，听着摇滚乐，我爱你直到心脏停止那一天。爱情有完结篇，我耳朵渐听不见，看不见，我听不见。是爱情的终点，看不见，我听不见，让思念去 一线，告诉我不哭不笑会忘记一切。记忆是一支箭，它狠狠射进我的心里面。看不见，我听不见，这是爱情的终点。看不见，我听不见，让思念去冬眠。我忘不掉的第一眼，你离开的那一天。我知道地球上面没有永远。看不见，我听不见，这是爱情的终点。看不见，我听不见，让思念去冬眠。看不见，我听不见，忘不掉的第一眼。看不见，我听不见，你离开那一天。
收听台北广播电台 FM 93.1 AM 1134，让你的心情嗨起来。大家好，我是陈零九。
我从年轻就烟不离手，直到跟太太结婚满10年，我想送她特别一点的礼物。想来想去，觉得身体健康就是最棒的礼物，所以结婚纪念日我决定戒烟。
因为以前小朋友都觉得先生很臭，现在他戒烟5年，烟味不见了，晚上睡觉也不咳嗽了，体力变更好。
免费戒烟专线0800636363，以上广告由卫生福利部国民健康署提供。
我家在哪里？
为了打造失智照护服务网络，各县市的失智社区服务据点开设促进个案认知、缓和失智的课程，并给予家属支持及提供照护技巧。
失智共照中心协助个案确定诊断、转介长照或医疗资源，并提供咨询服务。快拨打1966专线，了解更多资讯。
以上广告由卫生福利部提供。
声音，拥有颗热情的心，耳边回荡的旋律，是我们的指引。有爱与梦想的电台，台北广播 FM 930。
头家来call in。
Welcome back to Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station with your host, Ross Darrell Feingold. And our guest today, Rosetta Xu, the CEO of Insomnia Coffee in Taiwan. Now, Rosetta, Insomnia is a very well-known brand in Ireland and the United Kingdom. So people from Taiwan who've traveled in Ireland or England, UK, they may have seen or gone into an Insomnia Coffee. Did they ever tell you why they picked this name? Why did they call their brand Insomnia?
Yeah, you know the Insomnia name is from 希腊神话. The Greek.
Yes.
The Greek, the Greek god of the sleep, 睡神.
So
the name is from the Greek story.
Yeah, but why did they give it to a coffee brand?
Why? Because I don't know. Ask the Henry of the founder Insomnia. But you know our brand slogan is love being awake.
Love being awake.
Yeah.
And because you drink coffee, you might stay awake.
I love coffee too much.
Yeah.
So deserve I'm awake.
Okay, now, there are a lot of coffee brands and chain stores, coffee cafes around the world that are not in Taiwan. Why did you decide to bring Insomnia Coffee to Taiwan?
Again, destiny, because the people. You know, because I met the CEO.
And you
Insomnia CEO Dara.
And you decided these are people I want to work with? You like them?
Yeah. You know, first time I met the Henry, founder of the Insomnia, and the COO Insomnia Dara. Actually, I go to the Singapore, talk business with the regional, Singapore regional, the Poking, our friend. And he franchised the Asia market with the insomnia. And our flight just today and tomorrow. So the Poking asked us, how about you meet Rosita? You meet the Dara and the Henry. They come from Ireland. They have quite premium good coffee. You can listen. Yeah, and so I know that I meet the people in Singapore. Then the first night, I feel shocked because the CEO Henry, his personality is quite drama and charming. No matter how my English and leave the language problem, his talking is full of the passion. And it's first time, really first time, the European let me feel the relax to talk. I feel, oh, that's kind of the surprise. Then after the story began, we start to they ask me, how we never think we are doing in Taiwan market.
It wasn't originally. It was not a target market for them.
No, the original market is start from Singapore and Malaysia because the regional Asia regional franchise, the Poking, friend of mine. Yes. Yeah.
How will Insomnia Coffee distinguish itself in Taiwan, though? Because Taiwan, Taipei, crowded market already for coffee chains, big ones, the independent ones. How's Insomnia going to distinguish itself?
Color.
Yeah,
red and without anything. Yeah, like right. The color is quite impressive. The red color. We have our logo is a red color with a yellow cover wing. Yeah, and of course our product special. Yeah, we provide the coffee from Europe and our story. Our store concept.
Just tell us a little bit about the store concept. What's special about the store concept?
In Taiwan, we have represent our special product with our decoration. We have like a girls product. We select a coffee bean product line called Voyager.
And it's targeted at girls.
Yeah, in Europe, like targeting and do a market survey and focus on the girls, then create this kind of the recipe.
Can you tell us what's in the recipe? Why is it for girls?
The taste, because the coffee beans come from we pick up like from the 中南美洲, like 4 to 5 countries, but the taste is like the fruity and middle roast, so 不酸不苦.
And women coffee drinkers prefer this?
Yeah.
So if I want to
most of the girls or women customer come here. We will our barista will introduce because we just came in Taipei, right? So we will introduce you. Would you mind? You want to try our girls product Voyager? Yeah, and we have a big image wall to show our concept. With Voyager. Yeah.
So, girls' coffee. What other special products does Insomnia offer? You told me there's something for kids as well.
Oh yeah, kids. We have special as a kids product. Kids not allowed to drink coffee, so we have a color latte with milk. Color and milk.
What color is it?
Now the insomnia have a 3 color in the market, like the green, mocha, and the yellow. Yellow is kind of the 姜黄, ginger, kind of a ginger, and the purple color, 紫薯.
So insomnia is a good place to bring your kids, right?
Yes.
It's a good place for families to bring their kids.
You know, in Nehu, our first flagship shop, we have a kids playground in the 2nd floor. And after, I will kick off the kids insomnia event experience in the weekend. Yeah, I think that's kind of a special in the market, no matter which brand, the trend brand. Yeah, the girls product, girls power, and the kids. And another special for Taiwan is you can order a hiding drink menu as love coffee.
What's a love coffee?
The Irish coffee, the traditional Irish coffee, the coffee with whiskey.
And is that available all day long? Could I get that in the morning as well?
If you want, you can ask. But now we're targeting to serve after like the 3 o'clock. Because in Europe, the coffee time and the break time is after 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Now, one of the other very interesting things about Insomnia Coffee is they offer their coffees in some very unusual sizes.
Yeah.
Tell us about the smallest size and the biggest size that they have.
The smallest size is just a single shot.
That's for coffee or for the espresso?
Espresso. Yeah, the small size, two small sizes, all for the espresso. Yeah, and we have the biggest size just launched last year in Ireland. It's a 20 ounce.
Do you have that in Taipei as well?
Yeah, of course. But until now, the Taiwanese were shocked about the 20 ounce size.
Could I see it?
Oh yeah, the 20 ounce.
The 20 ounce is just.
It's like a soup bowl.
Yeah, it's like a soup bowl. You're absolutely right, Rosetta. It's extremely large. Does anyone
about the latte?
So nobody in Taipei store ever orders this.
Not much because really too big, but quite fresh.
Is there a takeout cup for the 20 ounce?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I have a takeaway cup. Next time you have time to try, I give you a takeaway cup.
You mentioned a few minutes ago about the baristas will recommend some of your more unique drinks to the customers, such as the girls' coffee. Is it difficult to find staff and to train staff for a new coffee brand in Taipei?
I will say I'm lucky. I'm really lucky. I interviewed by myself for the barista and store manager before we open, and I don't know. I made the quite good, excellent barista. They got the quite good the skill.
It just come to them naturally?
No.
Or they have to do a lot of training?
Yeah, they have experience in the coffee shop. I think in Taiwan, we have so many young people. They love to doing the coffee barista.
Why do you think that is?
I think in Taiwan, the young people like the 小确幸. People want the 情怀. How to present the 情怀? Kind of the dream.
Yeah.
I don't know why in Taiwan the young people always think my dream my dream is open a coffee shop.
Yeah, they watch too many movies and TV shows that take place in a coffee shop.
How about the American? I never heard about
American people. In America,
the people say my dream is to open a coffee shop.
I think in America, working in a big chain coffee shop for young people, it's just a job. It could be a coffee place, it could be a fast food or a sit-down restaurant, but it's just a job. It's not a dream.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. That's why I think it's not hard to find the barista, but it's hard to find the right person and the good attitude.
But
to your store and our brand. Yeah.
But you opened this year same time as the virus situation?
March.
Did that have an effect on the launch of the business or sales this year?
I will say not affect because I just opened. So what's matter? Because 0 to 1, no matter I face the virus or not, 0 to 1 step is all quite difficult and tough. But luckily in Taiwan,
we have a better situation. Of course.
But you know when I just opened on the March. The virus getting serious April and May. Yeah, we locate in the Nehu. Empty. Almost empty city. Yeah.
Well, certainly there were not a lot of business travelers coming to Taiwan at that time or even now. Do you recommend people sit in the store, though? Is that the better way to enjoy insomnia coffee instead of takeaway? Or it's delicious either way?
Actually depends your need. But if you have time, I strongly recommend staying in store and try to find your corner because we design so many like corner space decoration.
And I also noticed in Insomnia Coffee in Nehu that there's the electrical outlets, so people could bring their computer or you could plug in and do your work there.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. No limitation.
You don't mind if people stay for hours?
Why do I? Me also like to spend sometimes just like a whole day in the coffee shop.
Yeah, but that's when you were a customer. Now you're the operator. You want people to be spending more money, not to take up the seats.
But right? I think that's the key you pick, the value. And I think they would provide a kind of a key service to let the customer think is you are really truly and be honest. I think kind of the detail service like Wi-Fi just part of.
You have any plans to open a second Insomnia or a third or a fourth in Taipei? 100?
Of course, I'm a franchise in Taiwan.
So we'll definitely be seeing more Insomnia coffees around Taipei in the future.
Yeah, soon.
Soon? Do you want to announce something today?
I plan. Now we are planning to open like a coffee bar located in the big commercial building.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting because that's something that's more common in other countries, like office building lobby, for example, or even on a higher floor, but not in Taipei. Not as common.
Oh, Xinyi, like 101. Yeah. I think more focus on the Xinyi location. Yeah, many coffee bar located in the commercial building. Yeah.
Okay. Any special events coming up at Insomnia Coffee that you want to share with our audience?
Love campaign.
Love campaign?
The Irish coffee. I told Irish coffee is about the love story.
Oh, that sounds very romantic.
Yeah. Come to the store and we will show you the story.
And how can people find out more information about Insomnia? Is there a Facebook page or a website?
Yeah. Facebook.
Yeah, so just
Instagram
and Facebook. Just look for
Insomnia Coffee Company in Taiwan or Chinese. Easy 爱尔兰失眠咖啡.
Okay, 爱尔兰失眠咖啡.
Easy to remember.
Easy to remember. Yeah. Well, Rosetta Xu, CEO of Insomnia Coffee, thank you so much for coming to Residence Messenger. We wish you best of luck with your new business in Taipei. You've been listening to Residence Messenger on Taipei Broadcasting Station. Have a great weekend.